When I was a kid, I cut open a golf ball and found what looked like a giant rubber band inside. But do they still make them that way today? Did they ever make them that way? I'm cracking open 6 different golf balls to find out. To get started, I went down to my local Walmart to pick up a mix of golf balls. I wanted a variety and really didn't want to break the bank. And I got really lucky. I found a box of 12 used Mulligan golf balls for just $9 with a bunch of random brands inside. I had no idea they sold used golf balls like this. That gave me plenty of options to choose from for my 6 test subjects. I clamped the first one in a small vise. Though the vise wasn't perfect, it was certainly better than holding it by hand. I then went at it with a Dremel, which didn't cut deep, but I'm glad I tried it first because I was able to find the inner lining of this very first golf ball, which not all of them have. Out of all the golf balls I cut open, only the Kirkland Signature has this weird inner blue lining around the core. Still, no rubber bands in the core. And if you look carefully, you can see the blue substance just under the white between the yellow. And the yellow is this hard rubber substance which probably bounces like a super ball. Based on this first ball, I knew I had to cut them in half, so I tried my oscillating tool. But all that did was create this fine dust all over the table, and it barely cut into it. So my next attempt is with my Sawzall, and I left my coarse, multi-purpose wood/everything blade in it. And that just it did cut, but it created so much vibration on the bench. And of course I didn't have things clamped down yet. So that was not quite right, but I did make a lot of progress on the ball. So I switched to a fine-tooth metal blade and clamped the vise down, and that made a lot of progress. Not as much vibration, but as you squeeze the ball in the vise, it kind of tightens around the blade, so that wasn't perfect, but it got the job done. I think the best tool for this would have been a bandsaw, but I just don't own one right now. Finally, I used a couple of screwdrivers to pry the ball apart. Okay, now that I figured out how to open them, let's go take a look at the insides of each of the balls one by one and see if there's any rubber bands. The Kirkland Signature surprised me the most. A blue layer under the white shell with a yellow rubbery core. I got lucky that I tried opening this one first with a Dremel. The Pinnacle, a pinkish purple solid core of some kind with speckles in it. Not sure what those do, but I bet they're very important, like they absorb or transfer energy somehow. The Wilson Ultra, solid light brown orange with only a few speckles in the core material. And just like all the others, the core is this hard, rubbery substance. They're all kind of similar. The top Flite, just plain gray with nothing I can see in it. No speckles, nothing. Just gelatinous, hard rubber ooze. So I'm sure that's a cost play not to have to add speckles. Just for giggles and QA, I cut a second Kirkland Signature ball open. I just wanted to see if they would both be the same, and they were. Maybe a slightly brighter yellow, but it has the same blue layer under the shell. So to me, they're the same. And finally, the top Flite Hot XL. Not sure what hot means, but inside is a light blue material with a few speckles in the plastic. Here's the final lineup. All 6 cut in half, side by side. None of them have the old rubber band windings I remember, but each one has its own unique design and materials. I did do a little research and found that from the 60s through the 90s, it was common to use an elastic rubber thread, like a tiny rubber band ball. So I wasn't just making this up in my head, that was real, and apparently pros loved them. I wonder if you can still buy them. I'm very tempted to see if I can hunt some down. I'd love to crack one open. Maybe that'll be a part 2. So modern golf balls are all about engineered layers and synthetic cores. No more rubber bands, but I'm sure a lot more material science. It does make me wonder, how do they make them so perfectly round with that big solid white casing wrapped around that solid core? Thanks for watching. Remember, it's one click for you, but it makes a world of difference to me. Please like and subscribe.